This exercise is called half curl up with leg abduction. It's actually taken from my stretch band manual and subsequent course. So I'm going to use a stretch band here, although if you don't have a stretchy band, you can do it without. It's just, it provides a little bit more resistance and a little bit more challenge when you do use the band. So it's really a core abdominal exercise, and it actually works all of the abdominal muscles, the superficial muscles of the rectus abdominis, the internal and external obliques, and the deep transversus muscle. Because there's a curl up involved, that flexion of the spine is unsuitable for certain neck issues, certain back issues, and definitely a no-no for osteoporosis. So we're going to be lying on our back. You're going to place the band just above the knees, and that just places a little bit of extra resistance there. So you lie down, clasp the hands behind the head, interlace the fingers, and make sure your elbows are in front of the ears in that peripheral vision. Lift up one leg at a time, engaging that core so your back stays in that neutral position. And you're looking at about a 90-degree angle at the knee joint. And then you're going to lift one leg up. So you're going to straighten one leg. It doesn't have to be fully straight. It depends on your hamstring flexibility. It can be slightly bent, whatever feels comfortable for you. But the knees are together, super glued together. So I've got to do three things at once here. So I'm going to breathe in. As I blow out through the mouth, I engage pelvic floor, belly button, and I curl up, head, shoulders, shoulder blades. As I curl up, I want to open out the straight leg to the side. Now, as I open that straight leg, it's going to want to pull my pelvis with it. So I've got to use my oblique abdominals to really keep this hip bone on the floor, because my right hip bone should be at the same height as my left hip bone. And as I'm open out, that right hip bone drops and the left hip bone heightens. So I've got to really press and cue the teaching point to press that left hip bone and left butt cheek into the floor to keep my pelvis in that stable position. So I've got my obliques working to help me stabilize. I've got my rectus abdominis curling me up. And now if I want to make it harder, I can move those legs lower, and that forces me to use the core abdominals in order to prevent my back from arching. And then I curl down and I bend both knees. And now I'm going to change leg. So now I'm going to straighten my left leg. I breathe in, exhale, engage the core, curl up, open out the straight leg, and also I can lower the legs provided my back stays on the floor, and I curl down and I return to that start position. The other thing you've got to watch is as you open out the straight leg, we talked about the pelvis being pulled to one side. What can often happen to prevent that action is the other knee wants to open out by the same amount in order to counteract the effect of the pelvis being pulled to one side. So you've got to keep an eye on the knee that isn't doing anything, and it make sure that that knee points directly up to the ceiling. It doesn't veer out to the side. So keep an eye on the hip bones and that knee as well. Okay? So, Jasmine, let's have a go. Let's take that off. So, if you want to engage your core, and lift up one leg at a time, and I'll just place this band around your knees. So the band adding a little bit of resistance, but as I say, if you don't have a band, it's not necessary, it just adds that little bit extra challenge. So interlace your hands behind the head and the elbows in front of the ears to take the weight of the head. So you're going to breathe in to prepare. As you exhale, you're going to straighten that left leg, curl up and open out that left knee to the side, keeping that right knee into the midline. And if you're able to push those legs away from the body only as far as a neutral pelvis can be maintained, or slightly imprinted as long as the back doesn't arch. And then you bring the legs together, bend both knees, and you curl back down to the floor. This time I'm going to straighten your right leg. Deep breath in. Exhale, curl up, open that right leg to the side. and then gently pushing away at the same time. And slowly coming back down. Yeah. Now a straight leg pushing out to the side is a little bit more challenging than when the bent knee pushes out to the side. So now we're going to try keeping the straight leg straight and the bent knee actually pushes out to the side. Okay, so trying to do all three things at once. So the straight leg is now going to point directly up to the ceiling and the bent knee is going to go out to the side. So deep breath in, exhale, curl up, push the bent knee out to the side and push the legs away from the body at the same time. So all three things kind of done at once, provided those hip bones are still level, the core is holding the pelvis in neutral, good, and then gently bend both knees and curl back down. And we'll do one more on that other side. So straighten the right leg, exhale and take the bent knee out to the side and take the legs away again, only as far as you can maintain neutral. Lovely, beautiful. And then gently bend those knees and curl back down. And I take that off. And then you're free to put one foot down on the floor at a time. It can be done without the band, like I say, it just adds a little bit more resistance, so it's a little bit more challenging for that.